Now that I'm mic'd up, I'm going to use my notes today because I have a tendency to go down the rabbit hole. And I still might go down the rabbit hole. So my invitation to you right now is to take it in a deep breath and let it out. Let's take another deep breath in and let it out. And just notice, can you feel your feet in your shoes? Can you feel your clothes against your skin? Can you feel and notice your body against the chair? Just noticing what you're noticing. And as you're noticing how it feels to touch all of those pieces of your body, notice that you can actually do the same thing with your thinking. Noticing, what you're thinking. So everything is created twice. First in our thoughts, and then in real life. So that's the topic for today, is how do we start to use our thoughts in a way that produces the results that we're looking for. And you've got a handout here, it's called The Cause of Results. So we're going to work with that a little bit. And so my intention today is to provide you with some tools for really looking at how you can use your thoughts to really create the outcomes and the dreams that you want to build. And I'm finding myself to be particularly nervous today, right now. So I'm going to go down the rabbit hole because that means I can get past the nervousness, right? So as you're holding the space for who you want to be, there's an art and a science to what it is to actually be a creator, a manifester, and produce the outcomes that you want. And as I was looking at the ability to create the life I wanted, I noticed that I started to have these longings and these discontents. I was longing for something different. I was longing for something that wasn't in the environment I was in, and how was I going to find it? And I was discontent about the fact that I was being controlled into what I was supposed to be versus who I wanted to be. So back in 1986, 83 actually, I was in the middle of a protest on the main street of Halifax. And I had this download. And this download basically said, this is not the way. Now I've been in the women's movement for about 13 years at that point. What do you mean protesting in the middle of a street is not the way? So I listened to that because I get downloads like that. We all have spirit breathing through us. And so when I started you out with the breath, that's because there's a breath that's breathing through you that is the most powerful way that you can connect to your soul's purpose, by listening to that breathing coming through you. There's a power breathing you that helps you to do that. So I started having downloads when I was 5. Wasn't telling anybody because I didn't want to be hospitalized, lobotomized, any of that, which was happening, in my world. And so in 1983, when I got that download, I went, okay, if this is not the way, then what is the way? And so in asking that question, I went to the library of the women's center that I had built, and a book fell on my head. It was called Working from the Inside Out by Sonia Johnson. And that book changed my life, because when you're in political activism, you're pointing the finger hoping that somebody will change. When you're doing inside work, you're the one doing the change. And if you're familiar with Gandhi, one of the things he says is, be the change. Right? And that's the power behind this dream builder work that I do. You get to become the vision of who you want to be. And that's the journey we're on at this stage of our lives, is to really inhabit our passion, our desires, our longings, and our discontent. And so over a period of time, so now it's 2025. For the last 40 years, that's the work I've been doing. I've been building a relationship to transformation to support women to step into owning their own power. Recognizing that our vision, our passion, our needs are the most important thing to bring to this world, especially right now. And so if you're living like Heather is in her passion, and all of us have businesses, who here has set a goal and reached it? Right? Who here has had a goal but hasn't reached it? So there's a way that when we engage in the art and science of dream building, it helps you to really identify some of the key factors to what's missing from the results. And so the handout I put in on your sheet is the causes of our results. And so the first place we look is thinking. What are we thinking? And when we can identify and notice what we're noticing through our thinking, it leads us to what's the next piece, what we're feeling. So if you lost your wallet, what happens? You go into a bit of a panic. If you found your wallet, what happens? You get happy. Right? There's a psychology to feelings that help us to actually create the outcomes that we're looking for. And so number one here is thoughts create feelings. Feelings create actions, and actions create results. Now, we're all energetic beings. So we're always vibrating at some frequency. And whatever that frequency that we're vibrating at is actually connected to what are we thinking about? What's the story we're telling ourselves? What way are we showing up for ourselves? What way are we holding a belief about our power and what we can do with it? So we are constantly sending out a frequency of some kind. And the more we can actually take responsibility by being in relationship to our thinking process, the more we're going to be able to harness the results that we're looking for. So one of the things about dream building is we start out by creating a design for our life. So that's step number one. Most people spend more time planning their vacation than they do looking at their lives. And so one of the key factors in creating a result that you want is to actually start with a vision that you love. Be in a vision that matters to you. So we create a life by design. Now, most people are living their life by default. They're wishing and thinking it would happen, but they're not actually taking an action from a vision that creates the feelings, that creates the actions, that creates the results they're looking for. So that's number one. We need to be responsible to the quality of who we want to be by the vision we're setting up for ourselves and stepping up and stepping into that. So that's action number one. Number two is we need to make a decision for our vision. Now, lots of times we make a decision, but you know what? The decision to actually live in our vision is our decision every moment of every day from here on out. And there's a rigor to it. And that's what I love about the work, is because in my noticing what I'm noticing, and I'm paying attention to what I'm feeling, I'm then going back to, well, what was I just thinking to create that thought? And is that thought actually a part of my vision? And if it's not a part of my vision, then I go, wait, stop. I have that power in me to say, wait a minute, stop. I don't want to live here. I'm living into my vision. And so you can't get to your vision or your dream. You have to come from it. So you have to be in that energetic feel of what it is to really believe in the vision you're designing for yourself, the vision that you're working from. And that's part of the journey, is because if 95% of what we're thinking is actually unconscious to us, what do you think the work is? Recognizing, noticing what we're noticing, being able to listen. It's like, what is this? Where is this coming from? And half the time, if not more, 95% I think is a large number to redefine who you want to be. So to organize our thoughts and our process around paying attention to, is this the quality of who I want to be? By paying attention to, what thought am I having? What vision am I living to? What's my vision? So we open up with that notion of, what is the vision that I want to come from? So let's do a little assessment right here and now. So in the Dream Builder world, there's 4 quadrants. It's called health and well-being, relationship, vocation, and time, money, freedom. So if you got a piece of paper, I'm just going to ask you to do a little assessment with me. So in the health and well-being category, what kind of results are you creating in the health and well-being category on a scale of 1 to 5? Okay, we got pens coming out. We're going to get them around. We'll get that moving. So people who are looking for pens, put your hand up. There's that. Right then? Oh gosh, okay. Okay, so on a scale of 1 to 10, and 1 to 10, excuse me, 1 to 5, in the health and well-being department, how satisfied are you with where you're at in your health and well-being right now? On a scale of 1 to 5, 1 being the lowest, 5 being the highest, what's your measure? 1 to 5, what number would you pick? All right, the next one we're going to is relationship. On a scale of 1 to 5, where would you be? 1 being the lowest, 5 being the highest. Pick a number. Now we're going to go to vocation, or your creative expression, or the way that you serve in the world is a vocation. So on a scale of 1 to 5, where are you? I don't listen to the speaker. That's a whole bad thing to be doing. So,
Divide mine by 2. We're good.
but, okay. All right. So where are we? We're on vocation. So we're going to go to time, money, freedom. On a scale of 1 to 5, where are you? What are you doing? So just take a look at that number that you put out there and see kind of what it is that what you're longing for and what your discontent is. Because if you're not at a 5, there's a discontent. If you're not at a 5, there's still a longing. So when the art and science of dream building, that's what we want to use as leverage to start listening to the power that's breathing through us in order to start holding the image and the vision of really who we want to be. And so as we move through that awareness, then we can start applying ourselves to what's an action I can take that will help me to achieve the results I'm looking for. Because if you look around, so if you're looking around, you've already achieved results. Are they the results you want? Right? And if you're looking for different results, then it's going to require some different tools and some different ways of thinking about yourself and different actions that you need to take by the way that you think about yourself. I'm getting 2, I'm getting 5, I've got about 20 minutes left, so you guys all hanging out okay? Okay. So the option here is to recognize that we have a power within us to really take our thinking stuff, take our imagination, take our intuition, take the spirit that's breathing through us and really harness it for our own well-being and create a life worth living. And so the question that I would ask you is, are you answering the question, what would I love? What would I love? What would bring me alive? What would be of interest to me? What would I feel enthusiastic about? So just in a couple of sentences, write down right now what you would love. What would you love if everything was equal and you had a magic wand and you just waved that magic wand and all of it would appear for you? What would you say you would love? And then there's the third arm need, right here, right now. So part of becoming aware of what's happening is to recognize that we need to befriend our fear as part of the process. And one of the things that happens is we often let fear stop us from moving forward. But fear is a companion in life, period. And so a prerequisite to success is actually failing and standing back up and doing it again. And so many people stop themselves from doing anything because of their fear of failure. But failure is a tool for actually helping us to become stronger in achieving dreams because it's feedback. And when we see failure as feedback, what happens is we can open up to recognizing what we need to know in order to move forward in our vision in a different way. How much time have I got in? Okay. All right.
As much as you want.
And I'm taking her. Well, we're going to keep moving forward. So I think that the thing that we recognize is that if we're going to really build a life that we want, there are 10 tools within the Dream Builder thing. I've only talked about 3. One is designing your dream. 2 is deciding for your dream. And 3 is befriending fear as part of the process. And so as we move forward, I would invite you to recognize that you have a dream that's powerful within you. And you might be asking yourself, well, I don't know how to do it. And that's the part of the piece that I love. We put the how aside. We put our focus on the vision that we want to create, the feelings behind that, the actions that we can do behind that vision, and then look at the results that can come from that. And we all have that with power within us to create a different outcome. And I love this work because I've watched women who absolutely were stuck on I don't know how. And we went past that by first focusing on the vision and the quality of who they wanted to be and the core values they wanted to live in and what it meant for them to keep moving in the direction of what they would love. And that's the thing. Ask a powerful question and you'll get a powerful answer. Ask a low volume question and you'll get low volume answers. So if you're asking yourself, how do I stretch my money to the end of the month? Low frequency energy. But if you ask yourself, how can I make twice as much this month as I made all last year? That's a very powerful question. And so we open to that. So I was supposed to say at the beginning of this that I have an offer for you, so I'm going to say it now because, let's go back. And I got another 20 minutes, right? Okay. But I do have an offer for you, and that if any of this is resonating with you, if any of you realize that there's more for you to accomplish, and there's more for you to do, and there's a way that you want to come at it that is meaningful to you, then I invite you to step up. And I put on the thing a little piece of paper, and it looks like something. A little white piece of paper, like that. Yeah, it looks like that. Look what Heather has. So if you'd fill that out and let me know, and I have some slots actually set aside at my table, but I would love to help you get more clarity around where it is you want to go and what it is you want to accomplish, because it's the clarity of your vision that's going to produce the outcomes that you're looking for. And there are tools to help you get there. So my hope is that you will step up to being the best version of yourself, because guess what? Right now, the world needs you at your highest capacity to show up and do the thing you're supposed to be doing in a way that's meaningful to you. Before I end, I have one little thing I want to read, providing I can find it. Because, paper. Okay, here we go. So there's a thing that I like. It says, until one is committed, there's hesitancy, the chance to draw back, always ineffectiveness. Concerning all acts of initiative and creation, there is one elementary truth, the ignorance of which kills countless ideas and splendid plans, namely, that the moment one definitely commits oneself, then providence moves too. All sorts of things occur to help one that would never have otherwise occurred. A whole stream of events issued from the decision rising in one's favor or manner of unforeseen incidences and meetings and material are assisting, which is one could have dreamt that would never have come their way. And I've seen that over and over and over again. When people have worked with me, made the decision to fulfill their life's vision, they have accomplished amazing things. And that's my invitation to you. Don't hold back. You have a power within you that let's get that power rising to the next level of your own possibility so that you can be the change agent you're supposed to be. Come see me at my table. Talk to you soon. Bye. There you go, Dawn.
Thank you. Wow.